Okay, so today we're looking at Bolts, which is an AI application that you can just use natural language to essentially type your idea into this command line or this command box or prompt box, and it's going to build an application based on that command. And what I want to test today is, can I build a simple application without going into the back ends? So and when I say the back end, without going into the code and have to adjust that to get my desired outcome. I want to use prompts specifically to adjust any functionality that may not be working. So the goal here is to not touch the code myself and build an application that is valuable, not just for me, but potentially for users. And I'll then look at taking that application and creating a subscription model for it, building a landing page, and essentially taking it to market. And before I do that, I'll test it with users and get their feedback and build some of those desired features or functionalities into the board as well. So I want to start off with something super simple so that I can give it to users, test that it's valuable, test that it's desirable, test that it's usable, and then I can add that feedback and continue to build valuable features on top of this task board. I'm going to give Bolts a simple command. So please build a Kanban board, let's say basic, actually let's say a Kanban board with basic functionality, limited to, so I just want to be able to have somewhere that I can put my tasks. I can reorder my tasks and I can visualize the states that they're in. So are my tasks in a to-do state? Am I currently working on them? So are they in progress? And then I want to be able to move them to done as well. So I want to be able to show that I've completed tasks. So that's the limited or basic functionality, and I want to say that it's limited to task visualization in columns. I'm going to say full CRUD for tasks. So what this means is that we can create, we can read, we can update, and we can delete these tasks. And the ability to reorder tasks in each column. And I want to give it some examples of other applications and also other design styles so that I can use that for inspiration. So as an example, I'm going to give it Trello as an example Kanban board application, and I'm going to give it, in terms of like the design and the look and feel, I really like a website called gong.io. So I'm going to give it that scope in this command as well, or that direction. So I'm using Trello for inspiration for functionality, and gong.io for look and feel. Okay, let's see how Bolt gets on. So it's telling me that it is thinking. We don't have a preview yet, but we do have a code section. Okay, so it's starting to build things. I've kind of got a basic outline here, and now it's starting to build the different files. It's installed the required dependencies. You can see it here coding in the background. So like I say, I don't want to have to adjust any of this code, but it's quite nice to see that this is happening in the background. And if you're someone that's just playing about with these AI tools, and maybe you're learning how to code at the minute, this is actually quite nice to see the code behind the functionality that we'll see in the end application. If you're a developer, this is really, I can see this being really useful to just take an idea from a customer and visualize it very quickly and get feedback. So we don't have a preview yet, so we can see, let me move this camera view. Okay, so we can see that it's still creating some of the key components. And now it's telling me what I've done, or what it's done. We've got a visualization coming up here. Perfect. So let's give this a test. And that was all within 6 minutes, with a bit of preamble, of course, from me at the start. But it looks like we've got a simple task management board. It looks quite nice visually. I quite like the design. If you've not checked it out, check out gong.io. It's a really, really nice design for a website and the whole user experience. So let's test the ability to create, right? So we said we wanted full CRUD capability. I am going to add one more bit of functionality in this video. So I want to create a Pomodoro timer. And this enables users to set focused time blocks for task completion and enhancing productivity. So you can see we've got some other functionality in here, so the ability to set priority, ability to set a due date, and the ability to add tags. So I didn't ask for this, but I imagine that's based on my commands or my prompts at the start, referencing Trello for functionality. It's taken some of that sort of base functionality from Trello. So we'll test this. Let's call this new feature as a tag. Okay, let's add another tag. Productivity. Okay, so we can add multiple tags here, and I can remove tags. Excellent. Okay, so I've got basic priority settings here. I could go back and prompt Bolt to change the priority scale. But let's say that this is, let's actually say this is low, because we've got a high, medium, and no low on this to-do list. And then let's say that's, well, we want to set it for today, but let's say that we want this new functionality by next week. Okay, perfect. So I can create a task. I also want to be able to check that I can delete a task too. So let's delete. Perfect. I can delete that task. You know, ongoing, you probably want the ability to maybe have a pop-up there, or the ability to recover that task that's been deleted, because that's quite easy to delete from a click. Okay, let's check reordering. Perfect. Oh. Okay, so to reorder, I kind of have to put them on top of each other. That's not a problem. I figured that out quite quickly. But we could probably improve that. So now I want to check, can I move this into in progress? And it's not obvious how I should do that. So the functionality is likely not working as expected. So I'll go back and I'll prompt Bolt and let it know that I can't drag tasks into other columns. Let's just check that last column. Nope. quite nice. It's telling me how many I've got as a total on each column. Can I drag back? No. Cool. So some nice basic functionality. Let me resolve the drag and drop. Okay, so I'm not able to drag tasks from one column to another. Please fix. Okay, so the current implementation only supports reordering within the same column. So I'll need to, maybe my initial prompts. Okay, so this just shows you, looking at this, if my initial prompts had defined that I should be able to move tasks from column to column, then I wouldn't have had this behavior. So it's not unexpected behavior. It's actually expected based on the prompts that I give Bolt. Okay, so there we go. We can now move things across each column. Perfect. Okay, so that's quite nice. All four. Let's check I can still reorder. Okay. So reordering, I seem to have to land it on top of the card that I want to replace. It would be nice if I had something that showed me that I was putting it between each of these cards. But again, this is other functionality that I could add. But for today, I just want to make this super basic, and I want to get users testing this to see what they think and get their feedback in terms of what would make this valuable to them. Okay. So finally, I want to add that Pomodoro timer, and we're 12 minutes in, and this is already useful for me, but I just want to add that other bit of functionality. So please add Pomodoro timer at the top of the application. I kind of see this quite nice to have maybe like the length of the board, but then if the board gets super long, it might look odd being super long. So let's just see. Let's just see how this turns out. So please add a Pomodoro timer at the top of the application. So I'm hoping that it's going to add it just above the board, and we might need to prompt it slightly in terms of like the design. So with this Pomodoro timer, the intent is that when I move something into in progress, that I can set my Pomodoro timer to set these time blocks for me to focus. And how the Pomodoro timer works is that you set time blocks of 25 minutes, and in that 25 minutes, it's your focus time. So you can see it now, it's at the top. So you do 25 minutes of focus, you don't look at anything else, and then you take a break of 5 minutes, and in that 5 minutes you're meant to step away, go take a walk, get some fresh air, get a coffee, and then come back and do another 25 minute cycle, and you do 3 of those, and then the break you take after that is a 15-minute break. So this allows you to like really focus on tasks that you're maybe procrastinating over. So that's the whole concept behind it. It was designed by a person that was doing their thesis, and they were procrastinating, and they got those little tomato timers, for cooking pasta, and they just set 25 minutes on that timer, and then took 5-minute breaks, and that's where this Pomodoro timer came from. So let's test our Pomodoro timer. So I want to set, let's see, so I've got 25 minutes. I can start it. Okay, it's counting down. I can pause it. I can reset. Yeah. And then my break should be 5 minutes. So what I would like is the ability to set the long break, so that 15-minute break that I was talking about. But for right now, this is perfect. I can essentially, pull my piece of work into progress, start my Pomodoro timer, and just really start to focus on this. So, within 15 minutes, which included a bit of preamble for me and a bit of talking, we've been able to build this product that enables me as a user to visualize my work. It enables me to prioritize and adjust that work based on whether it's high, medium, or low. I can change that priority. Day to day things change, so I can adjust that. I can set a due dates. I can add tags to just visualize here a bit more information about the work that I'm doing. And yeah, this is already, for me anyway, a valuable application that was built within 15 minutes. I didn't use any code. I used natural language prompts. So yeah, pretty impressed by Bolt's capability to create a product like this. So stay tuned. I'm gonna share the link to this where you can go and test it out, and I'll provide functionality for people to give feedback to. So I'm excited to see how people use this and what ideas you come up with in terms of taking this to the next step of it being valuable.